Hi, my name's Sal Holden and I'm a burnout coach helping people to overcome burnout and reclaim their health and energy. And today I'm talking about how to safely release anger from our nervous system. As I mentioned in my Thrive Overcoming Burnout book, often we can have so much stored and stuck energy within our nervous system from different experiences, different events that have taken place over our lifetime. And when we've learned to suppress, deny, or repress how we're actually feeling, often that gets stuck in the nervous system, or perhaps you didn't have a safe place where you could vent or emotionally process through, and which is essentially just experiencing your emotions after a traumatic event. When this happens, this all gets stuck inside the nervous system, and it makes it really difficult because it's basically like the accelerator being jammed on in a car. We're constantly in that fight flight state, racing from one thing to the next thing to the next thing, feeling that we can't breathe, we can't stop, we've got to keep going no matter what. And this is essentially what ends up causing burnout long term, because the adrenals are constantly in overdrive. As I mentioned, it's like the accelerator constantly being on, and eventually the body says no. And so what we need to do is to start to safely, gently, in a time that's right for you, when you feel that you've got enough capacity on board for this, to be able to start to process perhaps some of these stored emotions that may have been in your nervous system even since a young child. Now, one of the ways that we do this, particularly with anger, which is such a protective energy. Many people feel that anger is a negative emotion. Anger is actually here to serve us. It is actually our friend, telling us or letting us know where our boundaries are or what is and isn't okay for ourselves. So really being able to process our anger allows us often to access deeper levels of grief, which perhaps have been stored in the nervous system and are perhaps creating a sense of apathy or lethargy within the body, or dropping you into the freeze nervous state, which is when we go into dorsal vagal shutdown, which is another level of exhaustion that can really create havoc in our health and our wellness in so many ways. So grabbing a towel, grabbing a pillow, grabbing a jumper, anything that can be rolled up into something that you can squeeze. Now, if you have somebody that you feel really safe with, you can actually also use somebody's forearm and grip their forearm. Sometimes that can be very, very beneficial and helpful, so long as obviously it's not going to be triggering for the other person, and the other person is in a safe and regulated state. This is very, very important, because often these big primal emotions can come up the more that we actually do this exercise as well. So this can be really helpful too if you are in that freeze state, you're feeling numb, you're finding it hard to process your emotions. Often being able to access anger allows us, as I mentioned, to access some of those deeper levels of hurt or pain or grief, where that may arise and be expressed through tears, through crying, which is one of the fastest ways I've personally found of re-regulating my nervous system again. So grabbing that towel and giving it a really good squeeze, and you might feel like a lot of emotion come up. You might feel like primal noises coming out, so it's like really giving it a good squeeze. You can feel all that tension, all that rage that's perhaps been pushed down, stored for such a long time, and really squeezing it as hard as you possibly can, and just allowing that raw emotion to come up. Doing that for as long as feels appropriate or okay for you. You may need to titrate in between doing that process, which means you pause, you do it, you allow a little bit to come up that's not overwhelming the nervous system. Pause, look around, reground yourself, and then come back in and then do that again. It can be a really great way of just releasing emotion in a safe way that's not overwhelming to the nervous system. Have a great day, and I really, truly hope that this serves you.